What's up, everyone? We're here to discuss the latest chapter of Toriko 293, and this is a chapter you want to show to anyone who is ever considering Toriko. There's a lot of, I've talked to about 2 or 3 people about this who are in the manga, but each time I present Toriko, they're like, it's so lame, it's about food, how great can it be? I don't understand, because I feel like most guys should first off really like food. I love food more than most people. So, maybe it's just me, but if they're not into food, this is the chapter you present to them. Obviously, I have to applaud this chapter. A solid 9 out of 10, which is a very high rating. I mean, the author has grown some balls at last. He's finally started to step into an area where there's more blood and gore. Like, literally, like last chapter, Tepai, coming in behind, just out of the dark, almost teleporting in from the darkness, punching a hole through Komatsu, pulling out his heart. And then this chapter, he's going a step further and drawing Tepai, literally squelching out the heart, like squeezing it out and turning it into dust. That is a step beyond what we've seen Toriko so far. I guess based on the standard, lovey-dovey tone of Toriko at the start, it sort of set Funimation up. Funimation already was a sort of lovey-dovey kids animation to make the anime very, very kid-friendly. DBZ, the first series, was not as kid-friendly as Toriko. It was somewhat kid-friendly, but it was very manly. The narrator was like, next time in DBZ. And I think that was one of the reasons why Toriko never picked up steam as much as DBZ or Naruto. But it's not over. I do think, it's definitely take a darker tone. Is it as dark as other manga out there or anime out there? No, unfortunately. But the anime always has a general tone of softening things, often severely, and it's done so with Toriko and numerous others like Yu Yu Hakusho. And the author can still do a lot more to make this darker and more awesome. But I very much like the direction at least the manga's taking. I don't think the anime at this point will ever, it will have to soften things up tremendously, much as it's done with Hunter x Hunter and other manga, which is sort of a shame. But there you go. Regardless though, let's get into this chapter. I very much like the first sequence, again, amazing. We finally get to see like depictions of the entire physical body structure of these two inner demons, and we see a lot of implications and details about what the heck's going on with them, which is amazing. First off, we see this whole, I guess, city that's, I guess, the inner world inside Toriko. And you see the inner demons, and it's literally quite an amazing city, somewhat strange and bizarre in the fact that, you got like the fancy tables, but at the same time you have these overgrown vines decorating the walls, and almost like torches rather than lamps spread throughout the city. So it has this very dark tone, and like you can sort of see it's like an inner world because there's no sun or anything. There's no landscape. It's just blackness. The sky is just complete blackness. And finally, I definitely think that obviously, if you haven't noticed, depictions of characters, not just Toriko Komatsu, but Toriko's inner demons have changed throughout these 300 chapters. Komatsu's inner demon, and I'm talking his first one, is a lot more, I would say, mature, more fleshed out, more his own person, not just this, caricature. He's got his own physical features now, very dark hair, everything. He's like his own person now. At the start, it was more this sort of gimmicky, demon-y dude. And you can see it just by how he's drawn. It's just much more darker and amazing. I very much like how Toriko draws stuff now. You can definitely see manga artists have evolved while they were creating a manga. And the author has definitely done it so far. And I very much like how One Piece and Toriko as authors have done so. Regardless, let's move on. More details have been revealed about what the heck's going on with these demons, and obviously the author seems to, based on the tone of it, seems to be making it up as he goes. Regardless, I very much like the direction of it, because it's pretty much like they seem to have come from the outside world at some point, and almost like the Jinchuriki in Naruto, it seems to be implied that they were trapped in Toriko, much like the other inner demons were. And they want to escape one day, and it seems like they gave up hope, but now it's like it's not just some pleasant memory anymore. They can finally escape, and they want to escape so that they can eat. And obviously, you know, the whole theme of Toriko, eating is the most amazing thing to everyone there. And they want to go to the outside world, and apparently it seems like the better food that you eat, the higher the chance they will have of reviving and eventually coming out. So, you know, obviously there's questions like what the heck's going to happen. It seems to be implied that Toriko and his troop will, once they, you know, finish Katsu's full course menu, as, you know, implied by numerous sources, like this inner demon himself. He told Toriko back in the Colosseum arc, hey, if you eat that man's full course, I will be able to fully come out. And the thing is, it's like, what's going to happen? Like, the four heavenly kings, I think it was Coco or someone else, Sunny, they were like, don't worry, once we eat the full course, it's not like they will, like, we will fully become our inner demons. It's just that we'll be able to turn on and off our inner demons. It's not a problem. But at this point, it's like, holy crap, maybe something else is going to happen. Maybe they'll just like rip out of Toriko and just be like, peace out later. I highly doubt it, but, you know, it seems like it's very interesting. We're not really completely sure, and the author can go numerous ways with this. I feel like he'll probably go in a lovey-dovey way, like, we're a team, Toriko, but there still holds the potential that they're not completely aligned with what their hosts want them to do. But regardless, it's like, hey, it's pretty cool. Like, things are going to happen, and it's also quite interesting that the second demon, from what was told in this chapter, allowed the first one to eat the air fruit. So it's pretty much saying that, hey, the second demon didn't get any of the air fruit. So is it saying that the first demon is stronger, or they're equal level, or they're just different, or the first demon, like, at first it was like the second demon was stronger, because it seems like the first demon, like, weakened, couldn't fight the air horse. But now it's like the first demon was just incapacitated and needed the help of the second demon, and that was just you know, he needed help. It's not saying that the second demon was stronger than the first. It seems like the first took priority, like the first ate the air fruit, and now he's coming out. So it's very interesting how that's going to play about. And I was on a Toriko Facebook group, and they showed a picture of, in the past, about 50, 100 chapters ago, where there's a flashback of young Toriko. And I said this before, it was pretty much revealed with the president, the IGO president. He was like this was already revealed that Toriko had two demons. The first president looked down on him and was like, huh, this guy seems to have more than one demon inside of him. Interesting. And so I was like, whoa, I thought this was new, but apparently it was foreshadowed long ago. Anyhow, though, I very much like the whole tone of how things are going with the heart and stuff. And obviously, I was going on and on about, don't worry, Komatsu's fine, they're not going to kill him, blah, 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 all this hype. I'm not even concerned. Like, I've read too much manga at this point. Like, they don't have the balls to just kill such a main character like that. And lo and behold, you know, we see the four heavenly kings all take out Cure Water immediately. And I'm like, of course, obviously, Komatsu's going to be fine. And then I'm like, I see Teppei just destroy all the Cure Waters. And I'm like, okay, it's actually going somewhere. It's like he's, you know, we actually going to see some, like, fighting or potential danger of Komatsu being lost at least. And then we see the fight, and I would say this just makes this chapter so amazing. Like, first off, Tepai with his wooden arms just stretching out like tentacles, ridiculous. And then we see like this man, I forgot his name, you know, but he was the second president under the first president of the IGO. And he's just ridiculous, black cape and, you know, white streak running down his hair. I just found him amazing for numerous reasons, but one of them being the fact that he's just like, I think he's one of the dudes that is not being mind controlled. He literally was a double agent spy, which I thought was amazing. I just didn't like that whole revelation that all these double agents were really just being mind controlled in the first place by Neo. I'm like, I would have liked it much better if they were actually genuine double agents. But regardless, we're going on and on now, and we see some ridiculous stuff. You know, Toriko is a little bit too mad about Komatsu being injured, and he's like, I'm just gonna kill all you, which is a little bit overboard. And you know, it's kind of like this whole thing of like, are you really gonna stoop down to their level and just kill all of them? So this whole thing about like the Batman philosophy of I won't kill or anything like that, it's like not in Toriko's book. So you see Tepai doing something like, I guess, shocking the civilians back to life. And then you see this huge hair wing thing, which I think is somewhat lame, that Sunny pulls out. Huge hairs though, like wings hundreds of times bigger than his body. But I think the most remarkable thing about this wasn't Zebra's chain bomb, but what Toriko did. Obviously, it seems like the tone's gone to a point where Toriko's much better than the rest of the kings, at least revealed in this chapter. I wasn't really, you know, too excited about that fact. I just feel like the kings sticking together is sort of lame. I would have much rather liked it if Toriko went out on his own with Komatsu. But regardless, I just found this ridiculously amazing, like this whole idea. Like, again, we don't know if they actually died or not, but Toriko was a little bit overconfident. You know, his left arm is now not his arm, it's his inner demon's arm, and he's like, I don't lay a hand on any of them, I'll take them all out. And I'm like, dang. And then they're like, what's the meaning of this? You really think you could take us all out? And he literally takes out like 2 of them instantly. He just like, with his hand, whoosh, half their bodies are just taken off. And then Shigematsu's like, holy crap. And he does this thing, I guess he has some sort of like a brace on his nose, and sort of like prevents him from going like into his like super strong state. So he pops that off, he turns into this inner demon, and then Toriko is just like in front of him, and he's like, farewell Shigematsu, make sure you kneel before the old man in the other world. And boom, he does an infinite nail punch. No more 20 times, 100 times nail punches. He does an infinite nail punch. Punches him in the chest. We don't know if he died. I'm assuming he might have died. And then, you know, it seems like Tepai seems to be the strongest one there that they're fighting. So it's like him and Tepai, they're fighting. Which sort of makes sense considering Jiro is like Tepai's grandson. Which makes me wonder who's Tepai's father. And it's like Jiro probably taught Tepai a lot of stuff. Plus Tepai's already so strong. It's like interesting. We'll see what happens. And obviously I just very much like this whole fight. If you guys like fighting, you guys must love Toriko. Awesome chapter, honestly. Again, we don't know for sure if these guys really died or not. I'm hoping they did, but you know, with the way Toriko's going, it could just be like, oh, these were some sort of clones. Maybe Tepai created wooden clones of these guys, and they didn't get injured at all. So we will see what happens. And I very much like it better if Toriko really did get such a power boost, but you don't know. Maybe he got overconfident again. We'll see you in the next chapter. As always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.